Hello and welcome back to Anime Only, where fans can come to talk about the anime adaptations of popular manga. My name is Brandon, and we're continuing our discussion of One Piece with episode 10. No dilly-dallying, let's go. The opener has Klahadore being very rude to Usopp, insulting not only his honor and courage, but his parents, his ancestry, his shoes, his dog, him, and even his overalls. Overalls. You will wear those overalls, boy.
But Dad, they don't even fit.
You're wearing overalls or going to school naked.
I wish you never got that job at the overall factory.
Well, I wish I had had a daughter. Whoa, okay. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, Clad continues on his tirade, and I'm just gonna call him Clad from now on, by the way, because I'm too lazy to keep saying Clador. And popping off about pirates in front of Luffy is a good way to get free facial reconstruction, which Clad almost signs up for, getting knocked on his ass by Usopp and flashing a scaredy cat look on his face. And Usopp is ready to beat 9 colors of hell into this asshat just on principle, only to be stopped by Kaya. And man, I would have loved to have seen Usopp just go to town on this clown. But it seems Oda has other plans. Instead, Usopp storms off pouting, which is better, I guess? But Zoro has to hold Luffy back from getting his own brand of ice cold justice. And I don't know why Zoro stops him. Isn't that a perk of being the captain? Being able to choose who to fight and when? And why doesn't Zoro want a piece? But I guess if Luffy really wanted it, he would have gotten it. So, and Klahadore has got to be the best actor in One Piece because we next see him serving Kaya what's definitely not poison and speaking in earnest about how he wound up living with her in her mansion. But I'm not gonna get into that because it's boring and doesn't matter, and I don't really care. He expresses his gratitude towards Kaya by crying like a little bitch. But it comes off as a ploy to gain back any trust that was lost with this incident with Usopp. Kaya, more like not very bright, ya. Nami and Zoro, with Luffy going off doing God knows what, end up becoming babysitters, sitting next to two of the kids from Usopp's crew. And let's be real here, they became babysitters the moment they met Luffy. And while they're sitting there, Usopp's dog comes running up, yelling about a backwards man. And what's wrong with being a little backwards? And while he does kind of come off as a weird dude, he seems nice enough, even showing the kids his hypnotism tricks. I would definitely trust this man with my children, but his hypnotism backfires on him, and he makes not only the kids fall asleep, but himself as well. It's very obvious that Django is heavily inspired by the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. And I can't help but wonder if Oda put this part in with Django sleeping with little boys as a sly nod to the late performer's alleged misdeeds. And Luffy's a damn bloodhound because he finds Usopp on a cliff overlooking the sea. And before getting any further, I love this part. Luffy sits next to Usopp and he doesn't want anything from him. He's just hanging out, being a bro, a friendly ear. And it feels so warm, you know? It feels good. But as these things go, that good feeling doesn't last. For as they sit companionably looking at the ocean, they see the clad man and the hypnotist Django discussing plans to rob Kaya of not only her fortune, but her life as well, and decimate the town for fun, I guess. And the owner of the Dum Dum fruit stands up and yells at them not to hurt Kaya, not even mentioning the townspeople. And at Clad's direction, Django hypnotizes Luffy and himself, of course, which causes Luffy to fall off the cliff and leaves Django, Clad, and Usopp to assume he's dead. Klahadore, whose real name is Captain Kuro of the Black Cat Pirates, the man of 1,000 plans, had faked his death so he could retire from the pirate life without the government on his ass constantly. And of course, this ties into Axe Hand Morgan's story of capturing him himself. Kuro tells Django not to kill Usopp because he's a known liar, and even now, knowing the full plan, nobody would believe him until it was too late. Really relying on that boy who cries wolf fable that Usopp personifies. Even going so far as to reiterate his plan to Django just to mess with Usopp. And while it's cruel, I love this kind of attitude from a villain, especially one like Kuro, who has had this plan in motion for 3 years and handles every detail meticulously. But of course, who could plan for the rubber chaos that is Luffy? Well, we'll just have to wait for the next episode to see if Kuro can hang. I wouldn't get my hopes up. And that was episode 10 of the anime adaptation of One Piece, as well as my 10th video covering it. I really hope that this video was a lot more fun. It was more fun to write and way more fun to record. Although it did take me a bit longer. But Johnny Depp, I am not. Well, the acting part, anyway. And the money part. In fact, I think the only thing Johnny Depp and I have in common is our crippling. My goal here is to find a balance between what I like to do and what you, the viewer, want to see. If this sillier stuff is more to your liking than my dry, dulcet tones, feel free to let your heart be heard in the comments. And while you're down there, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell to get notified for more videos like this from me. So until next time,